Alrighty. Happy Monday. This is SEO This Week, episode number 43. I don't even know why I did episode numbers, but I mean, probably well past 43. But we started over again, we rebooted, so whatever. It is what it is. Not very many people here live today. Don't know what's up with that. At least in the Zoom side. So, but the YouTube people are filling in, so that's awesome. So, as always, what I'm going to do, so instead of while waiting for you guys to drop your own questions, I'm going to find some questions, and we'll answer those. We'll just keep going until an hour hits, or no questions are to be asked. Does that sound fair? So let's do this. Gonna move over to Reddit this time. I mean, I did Signals Lab last time. I think we'll do Reddit this time, and this is the SEO Reddit, or one of them. So usually I find some decent questions in here that people wonder, and you kind of see these questions repeated over and over again if you you hang out long enough and look in these forums and social media, etc. So that's cool. Let's see. All right. Can H1 come after the H2? This is one that comes up a lot. And the reason is there's a different sense of order from SEO to developer. And then how developers use H tags versus how SEOs use H tags. And in short, like developers are using H tags to maintain the stylistic look across all the web pages. So the H1 has a setting of font and size, H2, H3, H4, etc. And so sometimes when they want something to look like an H1, for example, but it happens to be in the middle page, they'll just use H1 and not really consider the SEO aspects of that. And that's totally fine. From an SEO perspective, you kind of want these in order. H1 being the primary topic of the page, or title for that matter, is essentially how most themes use it, is the title of that page or post, right? And then you got the H2s, which is the subtopics, and the H3s is supporting subtopics. And you kind of want to stick to that. However, if you run into a situation where you have to optimize a website where those are out of order, it is not the end of the world. It would be preferred if you can fix it. It's one of those things. Let's try to fix this. But if the H2 comes before the H1, it's not, you're not ending anything. It's okay. It's not that's more of a busy work SEO fix is probably how I would term that, versus a have to SEO fix. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. I saw a YouTube video in two websites gave an abandoned example to avoid for link exchange as a bad example. I checked them out, and both have thousands of articles, but both their daily traffic's around measured. And it looks like years ago they turned down. How is it possible such authority sites have such small traffic? Are they penalized, or could there be a reason? That's a pretty broad one. I mean, you'd have to do a full audit to check that out and check out their link, etc. Two websites linking to each other is not a bad link exchange. It's kind of actually pretty fine. So let's say I don't know who's in the chat right now. Let's say Dan and I own two directories in the same market, in the same niche. It is totally acceptable for us to link to each other consistently across the board. As a matter of fact, in the adult gambling markets, that's pretty much how they're ranking. They build like millions of backlinks using tools and other systems. They'll build some high quality, but their high quality backlinks will be interlinking link exchanges. And those guys will either just do it outright, like come check out these sites, or they'll create them and have them look like ads. But at the end of the day, it's still a link exchange. One site will link to another. And that's totally normal. So just to cite those two sites going together and then implying that it's bad because all their traffic is gone that's just bullshit. That being said, I mean, if a website goes stale, you ranking, you're doing fine, and then you just set it there and you don't do anything with it. I think today, those kind of websites are gonna probably go the way of the dodo. So you got to build backlinks to them, and then build the traffic. And as they get traffic and stuff, more backlinks should be showing up. If more backlinks aren't showing up after all of that traffic, it probably means the content is just trash from a user perspective, and you need to reevaluate it. So that's how I would look at those. All right, let's see who's here. Skylar's here. J. Paul Hendricks is here. Dan Vinay. Here's one. Clint, previously you showed how to create an outline for roof repair Dallas, but how will I know how many H2s, H3s, and 4s you use for the page? Use as many as you feel comfortable with. Some of my pages are ranking for the target keyword list is about 38 keywords long. And I use the H tags to bring in those other target keywords. Or some of them, or most of them. So that's really up to you. That's a subjective thing. There is no rule for how many to use. Ninja Media Lab, in your opinion, what is the difference between the courses of SEO Intel and IMG? Well, IMG is the Netflix of internet marketing. So that was started by Kyle Roof, Techabitis, and Andrew. It was supposed to be like a collaboration, I guess it would be, of courses and SEO testing. It's more heavily promoted on the courses side now, where SEO Intel is still the base is the testing, and the courses are something that we just chose to add because we had that material, and rather than sell courses into the SEO Intel brand, we just add that as a membership benefit. All those courses on IMG, like I have my core course in there, all those courses are rev share. So while you're getting all those courses for the same price, those course creators are actually not are making money off of that, but they're not making hardly anybody. So I would expect that really good courses, what a better use for IMG would be to put out like a course, like I don't know, like I did the core course, and use that to in some way build brand and hopefully encourage people to seek me out or seek me anyone or any of those course creators out individually, and then upsell at a better date. That's better advantage for, or a better way to make money in courses than publishing on IMG. IMG, you're just leveraging their network. But SEO Intel is not the same. No. SEO Intel, our focus is on the testing. We are putting the courses in there, but we're doing it from a different perspective, where you have like the on-page course, for example. We'll be highlighting the tests as I make it will highlight the tests that applied to that section. So not only are we giving you here's a way to do this, we're giving you the test results, so that if our way that we've given you isn't suitable for you, at least you know where the tests are and you can make your own way. So we're enabling you to be smarter, not just give you an ass ton of information that you're probably not going to use 99% of. Let's see, does links on Facebook measured in the algorithm? There's plenty of guesses and stuff. I will say that if you add links to Facebook pages do get crawled and indexed. There we go. Those links do count towards your rankings. LinkedIn pages, I didn't even know there was such a thing as LinkedIn pages. The company profiles. Those work to some extent as well. But 0 + 0 = 0. So if your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page, your profile doesn't have any backlinks, it's not going to provide as much value to you as one that does. So I think of that too. Hey, Drake, good morning. Oakland. Tips on a free T tool for TF-IDF, and what do you use? I don't use a free tool because depending on free tools for running your business will lead you in a lot of drama. Just because they go away. Topicalrelevance.com is one instance. Joe Priest created it. He had it out for free. He just sold it. The new owner handicapped it for a lot of accounts, etc. And we were depending on that. Luckily for me, I know the new owner, so I reached out and said, "Hey, dude, we have this whole process built around this tool, and you fucked us." So he fixed our account so that we could use that. So, but for TF-IDF, this website auditor is what I'm using now from SEO Power Suite. And there's a kind of a function in Quora, if you know what you're doing with Quora. The Yake and LSI lists enhance that TD-IDF from website auditor, so you can combine those and have a good thing. You mentioned HARO. Jesus, HARO. I say it again. You mentioned HARO. Are you doing it for clients so are you using an email under domain and pretending to be someone from this facility? When I do it for Digital Ear, I use a Digital Ear email. Hey, I'm representing this client, and I reached out to him with your request, and here's what he said, and here's his contact information, etc. And that seems to work okay. And then the franchise agency, it's pretty much the same. We don't use branded domains. We reach out as an agency and say we're doing this. If we pretended to be someone from the facility, etc., could we have better results? I'm sure, but managing all those different personas and all that, it's not worth it, the time. Especially when you sign up, you're stuck on that one email. So if you have personas, and all your personas got to be signed up so they can reply with that one email. That's how HARO works. And then now you got all that trash, and it's just maddening. I wouldn't do it that way. What is a natural content creation process that gets me team for 300 plus SEO in the first page? Fuck off. Ask me a dumbass question like that. Natural content. Come on, dude. You asked me so much good questions, and now you're going to ask that. You deserve that. What is a natural content? No, not even. I'm done with that. Do you have any tips on using PR distribution services? Is it safe to use branded anchors to the homepage, and should you write a press release yourself and get them to do it? It depends on in regards to writing, it depends on the service. Press Advantage, they always wrote decent ones for me. And then Madge at Magic PR, his team was doing good. You can play with prompts in AI, and you actually get pretty decent PRs, especially if you're just like using them for promotion of like blog posts, and Brand X just created this great guide on why, right? ChatGPT will write them for you too, so that you got more options now. But typically, if I'm going to pay Madge's prices, then Madge is writing the PR. You know what I mean? Cision, they're like stupid expensive. I mean, you have to write your own. So it's really just the service. You have to figure out which one's going to give you the best. In regards to anchors, I always do one branded anchor to the homepage for the business, and then I'll link to the article that I'm trying to promote, and then maybe a third one if relevant. But for the most part, it's always put the homepage in there, and then link to the article you're going to promote as well. So you double your benefits. Like if I'm doing one for a client, for example, their homepage, your article promote, and then one to Digital Ear, for example. So you kind of just, because you can put, typically most of those services let you put up to 3 links in there. So why not put one for your agency in there too, if you're doing that for your agency stuff? Hi Clint, good morning. Is it possible to share test ideas with you? If yes, can you accept my LinkedIn connection request? For you, Jay, I will accept it. I'll tell you that in all full disclosure, LinkedIn, there's so much trash that frankly, if it's not a US person, I don't accept them. I don't accept the request, because I swear to Jesus, every time I accept a foreign LinkedIn request, I get bombarded with messages about their latest selection of websites to build links on, and it's just garbage. So Jay, I will look for you. As a matter of fact, if you sent it now, let me stop sharing. You sent it now, what I'll do is I'll find it now and look at and accept you. LinkedIn.com. My network. Yeah. Scaling B2B. I don't see it, Jay. You might have to send it again. Nope. I don't see it, Jay. Probably already got cleaned out, depending on when you send it. So send it again if you can. If it'll let you. I have a process like that, Odin, but I mean, when I've talked about doing that, it's been over the course of 5 to 7 videos, and I'm not answering that in one video for you. I mean, I think last week I talked about the templates, and that alone, going through that kind of process with the templates works. And fulfills a lot of the factors, but that's it. Let's see. Vinay, what's your opinion on posting new articles on your website while Google updates are going on? Waiting till the rumble. I mean, as much as Google is changing things, Vinay, at this point in time, I think it would be a poor business decision to not publish new stuff. Okay. Because those algorithmic sensors, which is essentially what we have to judge whether a page is being, or whether the algorithm is being updated, are quite often bloated hype machines, because essentially if Google changes the HTML of the search results, which right now they're doing significantly while they roll out the SGE for everybody, and for more and more keywords, they're changing the HTML, and those changes in the HTML screw with those rank trackers, which those rank trackers are essentially those algorithmic indications of an update, right? So if you waited for those, I mean, what's the last one? That thing's been going on for 2 weeks. If you didn't publish any content for 2 weeks, then you'd be sucking. So I publish content, update or not. I just don't make major decisions like a typical update. I won't make major decisions on ranking drops and ranking increases until I've get a decent sense that has settled out in my niche. And that's based off of the number of search volume in your niche. So if you're in a really low search volume thing, you probably have to wait longer because not as many people are searching for keywords in your niche, making that process redo and reanalyze the search results. Versus if you're in one that has a lot of traffic, that reassessment and reanalysis of those search results happens a lot faster, and you don't have to wait as long. So yeah, publish. Don't not publish because there's an update. Always, that's really, in my opinion, is probably one of the better times to publish new content, because those are new keywords and you can see where it's going to land in the new update, versus having to go back and clean stuff up, right? And change things. So that's how I would address that. Let's see. SEO Putin. Killing me, weird. Killing me, dude. Killing me, Smalls. It's all right. We'll still be friends. You filter it out, Skylar? Oh, the question. Do you filter out SEO Autopilot social bookmark providers, or run it with all of them selected? Run one. Find the ones that are failing. Typically, they're going to fail because the site just keeps changing things and it sucks, or the recapture will always consistently fail. And check your logs to find out which ones, and then you'll look and you'll stop those. You turn those off, and that will speed up your workflow significantly. There's a couple in there. Let me see if I can get that list. Oh, I don't have Neo on this computer. You have to buy a separate license for every installation of Neo, and I don't have it on this computer. But there's a couple in there that are consistently never working, and I think one of them is Symbaloo. You'll recognize it. It starts with SY, Skylar. Shut that one off. That one is the reCAPTCHA over there. Just doesn't work with Xevil. I think you're using Xevil too. So I just shut that off. And then there's a couple of them that consistently fail. But you do that, you can run like 10 of those campaigns in about 2 hours, depending on your processor of your machine. And that's good, especially when you're just trying to get your 25 to 50 referring domains. All righty. Let's see. Okay. Pausing questions on YouTube Live. That's good. And I don't want to ramble, so I'm going to find another one. Oh, here's one. Symbaloo. There you go. Ron said Symbaloo. That's the one. Yeah, he said it is. Ron says it doesn't work with TCAPTCHA either. So yeah, I would just shut it off. I think there's something going. They did something with their integration with the reCAPTCHA, and that's probably what's doing it. It would be good, I think, to go sign up to that site on your own and then test the value of those backlinks and see if it's worth having that account. Does that make sense? Because it may be a super site, and because it's so hard to air quotes spam it, it might get better traction from the links that are on it. But I don't know. That's pure speculation at this point. Let's see. Help for hunting backlink exchanges or backlink purchases. How do you go about hunting backlink exchanges or backlink purchases? Is there any aggregator site where one list website selling backlinks, and what do you guys use for this? So there's actually a few of them, and a lot of them are really private, and you got to kind of get invited into them. Costas, who's in OMG, he made one for OMG members. I don't know if he's opened that up to everybody yet. So there's that one. Vazula is another one that you can, they create a list of websites. And then I know there's a couple of Indian guys out there that have these big ass lists too. So if you are doing outreach already, you should be maintaining a database of everyone who's accepted to post links on your behalf for you, whether that's for free or for money. And I would actually keep those lists separate for free and for money, because you can always keep going back to the for free people, and then use the for money ones to augment. Anyway, that's how those services come to be. I know one guy, he's got he was in Bangladesh, I think, but I met him at a couple of rock stars, and he's got this big ass database because he was doing outreach for clients and just kept building that database up. I think Costas and OMG, he's the same way. He was doing outreach for years for Greg Morrison and for select OMG customers, and he's built his database up to 60,000 websites. So that's the best way to get a hold of those links and to buy them, or just find some friends who are who are already doing that, and it will give you the buddies discount. That's also another way. Let's see. Okay, another question. How do you feel about the SEO job market? Will it rebound? That's a good question for those who are doing agency stuff, and we hire for agency stuff. I will tell you that it's not bad. Like, the SEO job market is not bad. What is bad is the people that are in the SEO space trying to get SEO jobs. Because we are essentially digital. We do all our work digitally, right? And so with COVID and everyone realizing, hey, we can do all this stuff at home, etc., we're in a better position to say, hey, I don't want to work from the office, which is totally advisable. I mean, I guess. I mean, I work from home all the time, but there's quite often that I'll go through spells wishing that I lived in a bigger city so I can get access to a co-working space and just be in an office for a few days, just to, kind of reset everything. So, but that being said, the SEO space, there's jobs out there. Like, there's tons of jobs out there for SEO. The problem is they're being filled by retards who don't know SEO. And then agency types have a really, really high turnover because they don't know SEO, or they think they know, or they know, let's not say think, they know they have an SEO methodology, and they think that their methodology is the best, and they want to just come in and change everything. And that creates friction in the agencies, and then the agencies just dump people left and right, etc. So, yeah, there's still plenty of SEO work out there for people who want to do it, and people who you can just be starting out. Totally fine. Agencies hire people that are starting out all the time, and they'll give you this basic set of processes, and then you work more and more, and you expand and you grow, and eventually you have this whole methodology of your own that works really well. So yeah, but don't believe the hype. There's billions of dollars every year being spent in SEO. How do you reduce spam score? That's stupid. It's backlinks, really, right? And that spam score is from Moz, and it's just another arbitrary score that has not proven to have any value whatsoever. If someone can prove that it has value, then I'll believe it, or at least prove that it has some correlation to ranking. Trust flow and topical trust flow have a correlation to ranking. URL rank from Ahrefs has a correlation to ranking. We found those. DA haven't found a correlation to ranking even after they revamped their database, et cetera, and then added the span score. So yeah, if you can do a test to correlate the ranking with that, then I'd say it's worthwhile to mess with spam score. Otherwise, it's kind of a nothing burger. What is the easiest way to build strong backlinks? That's a good question. Outreach. Outreach is probably the easiest way, but more so not like blind cold outreach to networks and relationships that you already have. Skylar, he's got a big ass PBN network for his agency that he built himself. If I needed some links really fast, I know Skylar's got good links. Dan, he's in a similar niche than I'm in. If I need links really well, I know I can probably reach out to Dan. And so those are the easiest way to build strong backlinks. The second easiest way is to own the actual platforms that you want to get the backlinks from. So you can call them PBNs, you can call them satellite sites. I like satellite sites. That's the new name for PDNs these days. Satellite sites. It's from Alex Drew at ODYS. He's the first one I heard reference that. Satellite sites. So you can have these satellite sites, essentially other websites that you own, you monetize, et cetera, and you can build those to be really strong and use those for backlinks for yourselves and for your clients. So there's plenty of easy ways to build these strong links. Let's see. Check the YouTube again. Nope, no questions in YouTube yet. It's a light day, man. Is it a holiday somewhere? There's only 11 people watching. Usually there's like 20s. Lately, we were in the 20s. Today there's only 11. Maybe it's a holiday or something. Let's see. Looking. Is there anyone here making money managing GPBs? I know a lot of people make money managing GPBs. That's like their only business thing is they manage GBPs. Because of the review stuff and the online reputation that's really prime for a lead into reputation management client. Is just offer I don't call it a tripwire offer, but $500 to $1,000 to manage someone's GPPs, manage their images, upload videos, rank the map, respond to reviews, that kind of stuff. I mean, that should be pretty good money if in particular if you're good at ranking them, because small business owners see the value in that. So yeah, that would be a really good. I don't know about 1,000. I think 500 to 750 would probably be a good price point for those. We'd have to see. I get plenty of small business owners that watch the show. So if you know or think of a good price, like what would you pay for someone to manage your map, in particular if they could rank it? Let's see. Lisa did a webinar about some MLM. I don't know what that's referring to, DJ. Dre, I got laid off back in October and have been applying since with no luck in the enterprise space. So many layoffs has made the competition to land a corporate job pretty competitive. Yeah, it's those corporate jobs, right? Here's what I think is why, Dre, is because those are essentially you already have this established SEO team as part of your marketing team. It has been my experience that SEO teams are kind of the bastard children of the marketing department, right? And so if they do have openings, they're slow to fill them. And then if they and those that are already in that position work really hard to keep the relationship going. It has also been my experience that while SEO is the longest term and highest, can generate the most on-point customer, the most targeted customer, that it tends to be the first marketing channel that gets shut off. I don't know why. So, but that's, I mean, I'm not necessarily in the same corporate position that you are, Dre, or you were. I'm still working for an agency, but that agency is again, it's a franchise market, so it technically is not enterprise. Like I'm not like Charles working at Fox, you know what I mean? Let's see. Let's see. Nick, have you seen Google retaliation for AI content at all? No, Google's already came out. First, Google can't read, so they don't know if it's AI content or not. I mean, if they choose not to teach your algorithm enough to discern between English and lorem ipsum or binary, like those pages that Chris Palmer ranked that were in binary, lorem ipsum still ranks, etc. So Google can't read. So the AI content is bad. Theory came out when OpenAI launched ChatGPT. If you remember, that's when everyone full on retard about it. But before OpenAI launched ChatGPT and GPT-4, there was, Jasper and etc. Copies. There was a couple other ones, Closer Copy, etc. that were all using AI to create content, and it wasn't an issue then. And then they had that whole, AI is going to get you, and you're going to ruin your website, and you're going to use it. And 101 marketers launched AI detection tools that were proven to be complete trash. Like if you could put William Shakespeare in it, fail. If you put the Bible in it, fail. If you put the Constitution in it, fail. And I mean, I pretty much stopped there at the research. But if you did, I don't know, War and Peace, books that were written before AI and they all fail, then how much value is the AI detection tool? So Google is not against you doing AI. I think they have other systems in there to catch those people that are building out mass sites with artificial intelligence or LLMs, large language models. And the easiest way to do it is kind of been in our front of our face the whole time. Everyone's crying about indexing. Oh, I can't get my website indexed. My site won't be indexed. Blah blah blah. They're looking at it and going, hey, you can write 10,000 pages if you want, knock yourself out. It's your website. But if no one links to it, we're not going to index it. Done. Right? So if you write 10,000 pages and you don't have, 25 to 50 referring domains to each one of those pages, then, there's where your indexing issue is, right? So, and that's hard to do, even with automation. It's hard to do that amount of links. So, that being said, it's the easiest way for Google to deal with the ever increasing amount of content that's available for consumption these days. Make sense? Again, that's only a theory. I don't own Google, but to me, that's why I don't have indexing issues. I don't create 10,000 pages, and I build 25 to 50 referring domains to the pages that we do build. Let's see. Oh, I meant that's why not many viewers say, oh, that makes sense. I didn't know we were stomping in the same maddening pool there, DJ. Let's see. Boris. Middle of summer here in Bulgaria and Greece, so I believe everyone was at the beach. Yeah, that does make sense. It is really hard to get a hold of Elias during the summer. How long does it take for you? How long does it take for you those SEO links to kick in? Considering I don't use them to rank, Boris. I'm using them to build my referring domain count. Now, if you're in a easy keyword, those will rank your page. But for the most part, I'm just building the referring domain count. That's all I'm doing with those. And then I'll use SEO Nitro, for example, or whatever, my own network of sites or G sites or clouds, whatever I'm doing for link building that at that time for that client. I'll use those to actually rank the page. But SEO Autopilot links are there, so you write a piece of content, you optimize it, you post it, send 25 to 50 links to guarantee the indexing stays, and then let Google sort it out. From there, you do a Quora, run a correlate report, fix the stuff that correlate says. I do correlate before I do Quora because correlate's like 1,000 times easier. And see where ranking is not ranking enough. Run the Quora report, knock that out. It's not ranking enough. Get some backlinks. It's kind of my process. Pretty easy. Sean Lewis. Some articles on one of my websites are written with no SEO keywords in mind. Do you have a way to plan out new keywords to add more search volume? I do. That's a good question, Sean. Sean's got the question of the day. Let me go in here. I'm logging into Search Console, so I'll share the screen in a second. There we go. You can see my shit ass agency site that I don't rank. Getting ready to put some more in. New site, not optimized for keywords, new pages, right? Go into performance, click search results, right? And then you're like, oh, that looks awesome. And what do I do with all this? So now let's say pages. Sort by impressions. This is the page that gets the most impressions. My Phoenix SEO page. I get a lot of impressions. I've never gotten one lead from it. Okay. Select it. Now it's locked in. Okay. Now go to queries. And now you have all of these queries. That's exciting. So you're going to have to filter these out a little bit. So the easiest way to do that is hit export. I want to do this in Google Sheets so you can see it. Normally I just use Excel. Let me zoom in so you guys can read with me. Now, what you're going to do is clear out some of these queries that you know are obviously not related to the page. So digital is the brand. I send branded links to it, but I don't want to send branded anchors to it. Well, not necessarily I don't want to. I just don't want to do it in this instance for what we're doing. So I'm going to delete the row. I'm going to keep looking here and I want to sort by impressions and go data. What am I doing? Where is it? Data short. No, short. Oh, there we go. Sort sheet by, and then largest to smallest. Geez, that was a long way to get to that, wasn't it? Now I have all of these keywords here. This is my exact match. I know I'm already building links to that, so I'm not going to do that. Or I also know I already have it in my page, so I'm not going to do that. So now I'm looking at these and I'm like, oh, look at all these other keywords. They're awesome. So what you're going to do is just pick a number arbitrarily out of your life. I like to use 1,000. And then I'll select these and I'll copy these, and then I will put them into a new stock new, got it backwards. I'll put them into a hidden div. Paste unlinked. Okay. I want to Control C, paste without the formatting. Oh, shut up. V, there you go. It's there. Okay, so that's there. And then I want to do this. And do this. Do this, do this, do this. Do this. Boom. Okay, so you're going to do that for every page that you found in here. It's like, oh, look, all these words that are exciting. And essentially what I did was a hidden div. Now, this is not for you to leave on your page and just and keyword stuff. And Clint told me to do all this stuff, and now my stuff got de-indexed, blah, blah, blah. That's not what this is for. This is to test to see if any of these keywords will actually result in more traffic for you, which you'll be able to see in here. And then you can take it out of the hidden div and put it into your real content in a good way, and know the results of the test. And you can delete this and start all over with new list of keywords every time this updates back here in the queries. All right. So hopefully that, I know I said that really fast, but that's it. That process really is that fast. All you're doing is you're getting the list, filtering the list, testing the list, and then applying the keywords that you need to do. Make sense? What are the top 5 ranking factors you're looking the most as of now? Do you need to make an article? What do you prioritize? The basics are still the same. In the top 5 factors is title, URL, H1, in content, and backlinks. Those are the top 5. I do have some anecdotal evidence that there is some type of check for your money or your life type sites. Whenever I publish AI content, rankings drop for local service pages. However, AI is king. So one of my spaces is definitely your money or your life. And well, I think you guys know that is rehab. So in rehab, I publish AI content all day long. It's not the content, it's the way that you format the pages. So think of when you're writing, format your articles in the MLA format. I know you got to go back to school and learn what MLA is, but you really want to do that, and you want to have the list of resources, supplemental resources of where those ideas came from, and you cite them just like you would an LMLA paper, and then go to and link down to the bottom in the resources list. You do that, AI content is not an issue. And that applies also with human written content. Before doing that, content just doesn't do shit. You add the references and stuff and build some trust with the algorithm by citing via having links to outside sources on that topic. You'll have a much better success rate in ranking without backlinks. What do you think of those Google Cloud backlinks and other backlinks from Azure now that SEO provides an automation? So I'm testing Yax and I'm testing Neo. Yax, we use a franchise already, so I know it works, but I don't know which properties are the worthwhile ones, right? So I went through myself and got accounts at all of those cloud spaces, etc. We're going to test each cloud space on its own, and then we'll test various combinations and see, do I need 15 different cloud spaces, or am I good with 4, right? So we'll test that out. But at the end of the day, Yax and Neo are not really the problem. It's whether those cloud sites on their own are getting any value. So I know people are still using Azure. I heard Azure is the one that's indexing really well. I don't know anyone that said that they've gotten more increased rankings from it, but 0 + 0 = 0. And my guess, a lot of people, including us, we use those tools and don't build backlinks to those pages. And we're just kind of relying on the referring domain. So we need to figure that out as well. Sean Liz, understood TK. Oh, there you go. That's for you, Sean. Sweet. I'm building rank and rent for local businesses. I have 4 to 5 sites per local category per city. I plan to cover 15 categories in 2 cities. Do I need to cover my track? Nope, you're good. The only thing you would do with that, Stone, is if you were doing, and I doubt you're doing, well, if you're doing no, not even the maps. Yeah, you'd be good. You can interlink those sites together because they're different categories. You can interlink the states. You can interlink, you can create like resource lists, favorite resources in the city, and interlink them in that way, etc. You get really creative with that. I think the only point where you would have to worry about covering your tracks is if you were probably doing map stuff for rank and rent. But if you're just sticking with the websites, yeah, you're good to go. You can. I use Ghost Browser for everything anyway. I have multi-login now, but I find myself Ghost Browser finally updated and fixed a lot of stuff. Maybe because I bitched endlessly and they just like, shut this dude up and let's put this out. But for the most part, I don't have proxies in Ghost Browser or anything like that. It's just a matter of convenience, so I don't have to log in the 500 different things. But you're good. DJ, if it's hidden, then why not add all the keywords from GSC? I filtered out just because I want to be smart about it. I mean, you could, in theory, add all of them. It's not gonna it's not gonna hurt anything, but you might. I did it for a test. Let me look. Hold on. Hopefully my mic will pick it up. I know you guys ain't gonna see it, and that's good. Yeah. So from previous results, I'm gonna do first. First, I did that on average. My ranking difference had 14 keywords that weren't ranking previously at all, but they were in Search Console. They all entered. They're in 34, 43, 47 to 25 now, just adding the one instance of the word. And I have another 15 minus 36, so another 15-ish that are up anywhere from 23 positions to 1. And then I have another 37 to 53, another, I don't know, 12 that didn't do anything. So if you're doing it like I'm doing it, then you want to keep the number reasonable. So in theory, you can add all of the Search Console keywords. But if you're going to keep rank tracking and then keep seeing conversions and see which ones are worthwhile to add, then keep it manageable. I do all that GSC query check stuff on a regular basis, but not hidden div. What part do you that hidden div it's subjective, right? You don't have to use hidden div. It did in the example. Technically, you can do hidden paragraph. This still works the same, right? There's a bunch of different ones to do it. What we tested in SIA, and I'll just give you guys this test, is everything that we hid with CSS didn't do shit. So Google knows CSS in the algorithm, and it's phasing it out. But if you're using style and you're doing inline CSS, which is what this is, instead of relying on a CSS sheet, then it works pretty good. Keith Evans, he's the first one I know that was talking about hidden stuff publicly, and he was doing H tags. And then Lee has his tested SEO training, and he teaches that using the core thing. So Skylar uses Amazon bucket links from Yaks for SEO Autopilot. Yeah, so that's a good tier system, Skylar. You just kind of get it going. I would try it with Azure too, Skylar, see how it's doing. I think that is it. We got 5 more minutes on the schedule, YouTube. So I'll go to Reddit, get one more question. You guys think of something while I'm answering that, and then we'll knock those out, and then we'll call it a day. Well, let's see. This is a good question. Advice on redirecting a URL with good link juice. Small business owner working on updating an existing website. Many of the pages have a URL that's performed well in terms of SEO. After talking to the guy who's doing coding of my new website and considering 2 options, keep the link as it is. By doing this, I could retain the existing link juice, blah, blah, blah. Implement a 301 or implement a 301 to a new URL, blah, blah, blah. I'm hoping to get some insight of the community. So a lot of people go through this. They're changing stuff. They're migrating from, I saw one who was migrating from WordPress to Webflow. I talked to another guy the other day. He said, well, ultimately he was changing completely his CMS for his website, and that's going to lead to URL changes. People who go from WordPress, WooCommerce, for example, and upscale to a Shopify type solution or a what's it, Magento? Is that it? Yeah, Magento or BigCommerce. Those result in URL changes, etc. So, if you're going to clean up your URL structure during a redesign, restuff is probably the best time to do it. All you need to do is do a 301 and verify that the 301s are working. If you have an integration or an app that will tell you all of the 404s, what I like to do is, let's say, page experience. Let's try to see if I had a good, I'm failing core web vitals. Let's see. Is there a crawl report? Search results? No. Pages. 404. Say here, 404s, right? So I deleted all the SEO this week episodes off of here, and I could, and Google is still seeing these. Now, if these match with 404 errors in my analytics to show that there's traffic, what that's telling me is that there's backlinks to these pages out somewhere. So what you want to do is just go down your 404 list and redirect these to a more relevant page. Like this one, I would go, what is episode 157? So let's do SEO this week, episode 157. Tools, trust, and software and shadows. So if I created a page about SEO tools, I would redirect this link here to the SEO tools page because the video is talking about SEO tools. Or I can just go to the video and change it. And that's more likely where Google's finding it, and why they keep recrawling those is coming out of YouTube. But this is a good reminder. I was like, I got all this link equity just sitting here in my 404 list, right? So when you do a site migration or whatever, you got to naturally think of 301s and how you're going to handle those. But understand that don't do analysis by paralysis. Think of the obvious ones, get those in place, and then use these 404 lists in your analytics and search console or your server logs to decide to find and adjust as you go along. And that to me is the most value for your money in regards to handling that. Alrighty. Let's see. Scott says he uses Azure too. He'll link the Amazon bucket to a new Azure cloud site or vice versa, basically just stacking them, sending the links. So stacking is cool. Do you have that Yak stacking feature that I saw that's in there? Once if I figure that, I'm going to try it. But I want to increase referring domains from high trusted websites. So 0 plus 0 equals 0. If you stack a new Azure bucket to a new Amazon bucket, there's still 0 until you add the bookmarks into the mix. So why not just link the Amazon Azures or whatever directly to your target website and then build the bookmarks to all of them? And there you go. Let's see. Just did that for some reason. For some reason, even after fixing a bunch of 404s through Search Console, showing a bunch in there. Yeah, Search Console is not accurate. And so you're going to see that some will say 404s and their pages actually work, right? And then some will say you didn't do the 301s and you did, or some will say it's a 404 and it really is a 404. So so doing that with Search Console is kind of but I mean, at the end of the day, it's only the tools we got, right? I think, but let me check my other analytics. Let's see. For some reason I couldn't remember the name of Matomo. That's the other analytics I'm checking. Let me see if Matomo has and I'll let you guys see the back end of this because I really like Matomo. And there's a free version you can host on your servers or the cloud. I'm using the cloud version. Right. So here's the dashboard. Let's see. Acquisitions, search engines. No. Landing pages. There you go. So these are the pages that are coming in. Page views. I don't think there's a 404 thing in here. Contents, transitions, cohorts. And this is only a day. Let me do this so you guys don't like, oh God, look how shitty he is. He's the worst SEO ever. This makes it even worse. All right, let's go. Overview. Direct entries. No, I think it's here. Entry pages. And then probably, would it be index? No, that's my homepage. No, there's no 404s. This is an interesting file. What is this? Temp. Oh, what is this? File. Why is that there? That's weird. I'm gonna go check my server. Featured. Yeah, nope, no 404s in here. I think I can hook my search console in here and it might pop it up, but I don't know where to find it right off the bat. Anyway, this is really good. If you guys aren't using Matomo to liar check Google, you should probably plug it in. It's free if you have the self-hosted version. The cloud version is cheap as hell. And so you bring it in here and you have this thing and you can bounce it off Search Console or you can bounce it off analytics and say what the hell is going on, right? So GA4 is sampled. Universal Analytics was sampled to like 15%. GA4, I swear to Jesus, is like 35. And you can see significant differences in the Matomo tracking versus GA4. So I would recommend that you guys plug this up onto your websites and do it. One of the cool things I like, if you saw those pages list, so you get this entry pages and you see how this is all sorted, right? If you have let's say you're doing a big site and these are all states, and then you click on this and this will be all your cities, and then you click on that and it'll be all the pages in that city that got traffic. It gets really, really crazy detailed, so you know exactly what your website or Google thinks about your website, or at least your traffic list. Here's one. This website, I haven't done, they turned off Matomo on this for me. So let's do year, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So here's location, right? And then the location pages are broken down by states, and then you can break it down into the cities in that state, and then you can see the pages, the centers that are in that city. That is, you can't do that with analytics, so that push button. You can do it, but you got to fuck around with their new filters and all that other crap. Whereas Matomo makes all of that way more easier. So I would definitely recommend that you're not using Matomo to check it out and sign up for it. Do you run on your large clients on that server, on their server? I use it on cloud, Dan. I didn't want to take the time to set up the server thing, so I just paid for the cloud. If I was going to do it, I would put it all on. I'll put it all on my server. I got Liquid Web server, and the thing is a beast, so I can afford to put it on there and put it on with the rest of my websites, and I'll be fine. And that would be okay too. My homepage is ranking for a target keyword. By the way, David's got the last question of the day. My homepage is ranking for a target keyword that I have a specific service page for. I de-optimized the homepage, but Google never picked up my service page. The top competitor has the same issue, painting service. Sometimes Google just picks the homepage and you're kind of stuck with it, and there's nothing that you can do. In regards to the de-optimization that you did, I would also add a link. Services, list your services, and then add a link to your service pages from your homepage to specify that you intentionally, this is the one you want to show for that. Other than that, as long as one of those pages are going, you're pretty much okay. Your homepage is essentially your business card anyway, David. And so if, as long as you give the user a path to get to that service page that talks about that specific thing, if your homepage generates a phone call, then you're okay. Okay, especially, I mean, like in paying, that gets to be more problematic if you're doing multiple locations. But if you're in one business serving only one part, one city, and then you're ever only going to do that, then having the homepage show versus the service page is not totally horrible. I would also check the service page and make sure there's no links mentioning the service that go to your homepage. Makes sense. You want Google to understand that this page here is for this service, and every page on my website that mentions this service links to that specific page only and not to other ones. So you essentially think about mind maps and site structures, and that's how you go. Off topic, do you play any video games? I have the PSP5. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I've turned it on. And I have not yet played one damn game. I get that for Christmas. So it's August now. But I do have Call of Duty, and I do have Diablo 5. So and so I once the issue is not a curse, and this is probably for everybody. I think you guys are all running into that. Is I need to. I have to work, right? So I got to do all my stuff during the day. I start off the day at 5. Here's my routine. Wake up 4:30, 4:45. Start off the day at 5. In the gym by 5:30. Out of the gym by 7:30 on most days. Come home, take care of the garden, water the dogs, etc. That's by 8. Eat some breakfast, 8:15, 8:30. Check my emails by 9, and then I'm off to work. And I stay essentially behind this fucking computer all day until 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on my motivation levels. And after that, I mean, I've already seen the computers and stuff, but I mean, I go outside, smoke a cigar. I'm out there for an hour and a half, depending on the quality of the cigar and how hot it is outside. And then I'll hang out with my wife, eat dinner, and then we're in bed by 8. I'm asleep by 9, and rinse and repeat. So with that schedule, there's not much room for video games. Then you think about the weekends. The weekends, got to mow the lawn, take care of chores around the house. This weekend or last weekend, I ripped out the entire, essentially the front garden, because it was all dying, etc. So this last weekend, I mowed the backyard. That's almost 2 acres back there. I had to mowed all that. We built these sunshades around our tomatoes and our peppers. Hopefully I did that soon enough, but I think I waited entirely too long and the sun roasted them, but we'll see. And then after that, I mean, you want to take a nap, not play, be a sniper and Call of Duty. So hopefully that answers your question. Like, I got an Xbox, I got a PlayStation. I just don't play them very much. Now, if they made Call of Duty on Mac, I would be all over that shit. You guys would probably never hear from me again. I'd be playing Call of Duty all day. Or during the shows, I'll be playing Call of Duty and live stream that and answer your SEO questions while I'm playing Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty. What's it? Command and Conquer. Jesus. It's the best game ever. All right, folks. 11:10. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. And if you already liked and subscribed, share the video with your friends. Tell people. Let them know that you are awesome because you watched this show. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.